My name is Akshaya, and for my 2022-2023 GT project, I chose terrestrial real estate. First, we were asked to make a model of the Earth's layers. First, I chose crust of Oreo crumbs due to its different pieces, which represents the continental crust and its complete solidity. Next, for the upper mantle, I chose peanut butter for its jiggliness and way to move around the Earth's tectonic plates in the crust. Both of those pieces create the lithosphere. Next, for the asthenosphere/lower mantle, it's cream cheese. Cream cheese, I chose that because it's a semi-solid, which is the same thing as the lower mantle, and it's nice and moving around, which is what the asthenosphere does. For the outer core, I chose strawberry jelly since it's basically a liquid object that in the Earth creates the magnetic field. The inner core was rice cake since it's completely solid and it's due to its pressure from all the other layers. So about the Earth's layers, there's 3 of them: the lithosphere, the asthenosphere, and the core. The top layer is made out of the crust and the upper mantle. The crust is the thinnest part of the Earth, and it's in pieces, which is called tectonic plates, and it's pure rock. It has the continental crust, which is made of mostly granite and is the thickest part of the crust, and the oceanic crust, which is mostly made of basalt and is the thinnest part of the crust. The upper mantle is a semi-solid rock. It's plastic-like and moving in texture, and it's very hot, which makes the tectonic plates move around. The asthenosphere, which is the biggest and thickest layer of the Earth, is also the lower mantle, which is molten rock and makes up 2/3 of the Earth, and it's really, really hot. The core is made out of the outer core and the inner core. The outer core is liquid iron and metal and nickel and creates Earth's magnetic field, and it's super duper hot. And then finally, the inner core. It's completely solid due to the pressure from the layers around it, and it's made out of iron and nickel, and it's the hottest layer of them all. Next, we were asked to make a greenhouse gas experiment, and I chose to perform it as a CER. So my claim: the more insulated an environment is, the hotter it will be. So before I move on, the experiment it has 2 containers, and in each of the containers, it has a thermometer in it, and you have another thermometer as the control outside of both containers. One container had a cracked lid, the other an uncracked lid, and over time, you were asked to record the temperature of each container and control. So basically, this is my information. For trial run, it said the chart, on average, the temperature of the container with the uncracked lid was higher than the cracked lid in the control, as you can see here. So that basically means that the heat built up way more in the uncracked lid and more in the cracked lid, which was both more than the control. I do want to say something really quick. I understand the averages help me in the information, but over here it doesn't really make a lot of sense because we did have some issues with thermometers being a little flunky, but it still can create the same amount of information. My second trial is the exact same thing. The uncracked lid was higher than the cracked and control lid, and it was the same deal here. Some of them were a little flunky around here, but overall it shows the same information. Here, it says also the exact same thing, but finally was the uncracked lid is higher than the cracked lid and the control. And this one wasn't as fluky, thankfully. It shows the obvious difference between the 3. So since every trial had the temperature increasing from the control to the cracked lid to the uncracked lid, we can conclude that the more insulated an environment, the hotter it will be. So now we are asked to present listing cards. So my listing card was Mercury, Ceres, and Europa. So Mercury is the first planet from the sun, and it is 201,192,000 60 kilometers away from the Earth and 58 million kilometers away from the Sun. There is no atmosphere, and there is some water underground in shadowed areas. It has little geologic activity, which just includes solid rock. It has craters and mountains. It takes 59 Earth days to rotate around its axis, and it takes 88 Earth days to orbit the Sun. It is the smallest planet in the solar system. Can it sustain life? Well, Mercury has water accessible through mining, and it also is a different planet from the Sun, so there is heat, so those things are already there to help sustain life. Things that will have to be done is a way to tone down the heat, because it is very close to the Sun and it's very intense, and that can be too much for life. A way for food as well, because the rocky crust cannot support crops, and there is no atmosphere, so air will have to be supplied. Unique aspect people will probably want to live with is its amazing, breathtaking view of the Sun due to its proximity and the fact that it has no atmosphere. This is my research proposal. So first, it's called Mercury the First. Live with Mercury's breathtaking mountains, craters, and most of all, view of the Sun. Warning, all people must be able to produce their own food and air through the eco-homes. Subsistence farming / oxygen generator / shelter. Please call 555-555-5555 to possess your own heat protect shield, which I called it for that due to its proximity to the Sun, so you can protect yourself from the heat, and an ice miner extracts ice from underground. Next, Ceres. It is in the asteroid belt, and it is 239,312,101 kilometers away from the Earth, and it is 413 million kilometers away from the Sun. There is no atmosphere, and there is some water vapor around the dwarf planet. The geological activity is similar to Mercury. It has a couple mountains, it has solid rock, and it has craters. The rotation is around its axis is 9 hours, and orbit around the Sun, since it's farther away, is 1,682 Earth days, and it's the largest object in the asteroid belt. So can it sustain life? It already has some water vapor around the dwarf planet, so we can use that as water if we cool it down, and that can sustain for a little while. Things that have to be done includes food, heat, and air will need to be created. So there is no fertile land, and it's far away from the Sun, and there's no atmosphere. Unique aspects people want to live with will be it's in the asteroid belt, so you have a beautiful view of all the asteroids and part of the solar system. This is my proposal. Stay in Ceres. Stay in Ceres' mountains and craters. Surround yourself with its asteroid belts. Warning, all people must be able to produce their own food and air through eco-homes. It's subsistence farming, eco-generator, and shelter. Please call 555-555-5555 to possess your own astro shield, a shield for asteroids, and heat-o-matic, heat generator, and devaporizer. It turns water vapor into water. How about Europa? Europa is orbiting Jupiter, which is the fifth planet from the Sun, and it is about 588 million kilometers away from the Earth, and about 780 million kilometers away from the Sun. It has a very weak atmosphere, which is mostly made out of oxygen, and it's twice the amount of water from Earth's, and it's all frozen. Geological activity is different than Ceres and Mercury. It's a smooth, solid rock and has very small mountains, a few hundred meters only. It rotates around its own axis, takes about 3.5 Earth days, and its orbit around Jupiter is 12 Earth days. And it is the largest moon in the solar system. Can it sustain life? It already has an atmosphere made out of oxygen, which we need to breathe, and it already has twice the amount of the water of Earth, so only melting is required for consumption. Things that would have to be done includes food, since it doesn't have fertile land, heat, because it's very far away from the sun. And the unique aspects that we want to live with would be its beautiful view of Jupiter, which is the gas giant, and its beautiful red spot, and you'll have the view of Jupiter's other amazing moons. This is my proposal for Europa. Call Europa home while you're surrounded by all the air and water you need, along with all the exclusive view of the gas giant and his other moons. Warning: all people must be able to produce their own food and air through an adapted eco-home, subsistence farming, air filter instead of oxygen generator, and shelter. Please call 555-555-5555 to produce your own Astro Shield, shield for asteroids, and Heat-O-Matic heat generator, and ice miner to extract ice from underground. This is my works cited for all that information. Thank you! Hope you enjoyed my GT project. I'm very proud of the work and I love doing it. Thank you so much.